Everybody, we can all lay our stories out and talk about, you know, how we see Britain. We know what Britain is, but it doesn't matter. This doesn't really matter to Nick. Not really, Nick. Not really. What matters to Nick is his own vision of this country, which is these little tiny potted bits of history. For instance, on his site, he starts his history largely in 700 AD. Where's the rest of British history? Where's the Romans? There's a reason the Romans aren't there, because they were a multicultural society. Anybody could be a Roman citizen. And there were armies here of Africans and Asians and Europeans. And when Rome left, those people were left behind. Now, what happened to them? You think they hooked up with your indigenous Ice Age Britons, Nick?
Well,
okay. Can the success of the BNP be explained by the misguided immigration policy, which the immigration policy that you call the greatest act of genocide against the British people in history, according to your website? The immigration invasion, an act of deliberate, calculated genocide against our ancient race and nation. So successive governments are committing genocide against their own people. Is that your theory?
I'm afraid that's the case. Yeah, that's certainly how it looks.
That's your theory.
From the ordinary grassroots position, when all the political elite celebrates all the multicultural diversity and
do you know the definition of genocide?
Yes, I do, and it is
what
about,
is the definition
it's
of
about destroying the United Nations definition. Is about destroying a culture by not allowing children to learn their own culture, for example.
How appalling, Mr. Griffin, that you use that word in that way.
Bonnie Greer. Bonnie Greer.
Look, the term indigenous, first of all, there was an ice age here. There were no people here in the ice age because they couldn't live in the ice.
Let's not go too far.
Hang on, no, this
Bonnie,
is
let's not go too far back.
No, listen.
We'll be here all night if we start at the ice age.
David, Nick Griffin calls his party for indigenous ice age. Am I wrong?
The people largely descended by the people who came here when the ice melted.
Okay, when the ice melted 17,000 years ago, people came up from the south, didn't they? They couldn't come from the north. Where would they have come from the south? All of us, and you know this because you have a tube too in history, all of us are descended from Africa. You wouldn't disagree with that, would you? Okay, now the only people who were here on this continent, and I've got a lot of books, in fact, I brought a lot of stuff for you to read, Nick, because you need it. The only people who were here, and I call them people, were Neanderthals. Those were the people who were on the European continent. Now, if you don't believe that, you can come to the British Museum. We got lots and lots of information for you. I really wish you'd come, because the history you've got on your website is a joke. It's wacky. And anybody who would seriously get upset by it